Hey there, it's Missy Zarbach. I'm the founder of The Magnificent Woman. I wanted to take a moment to welcome you, to tell you a little bit about myself, and to tell you a little bit about the work that we do here at The Magnificent Woman. So, my journey began many, many moons ago when I was a young adult coming into adulthood, and I remember having a really, really crappy day where nothing was working out, and I looked around. And I didn't like the shape that I was in, and I didn't like the relationship that I was in, and I didn't like my job, and I didn't like my furniture, and I didn't like my friends, and I was going to ladies' nights 3 times a week, and I really was not pleased with any single area of my life. And so what did I do? I got real with myself, and I began to tell myself the truth, which was I was the common denominator. I was in the center of every one of those scenarios, and it hurt to know that I had been failing myself for so long. And so I got to work on personal growth and self-development. I was gifted the book Succulent Wild Woman, and I was also gifted The Secret, the Basic Law of Attraction. And I put those 2 tools to work pretty hardcore in my life. I made them my Bibles, and I worked them, and I worked them, and I worked them. And it took me a couple of years, and I was still failing hard, and I was still falling down on my face, and I was still making huge mistakes. And I can remember thinking, I don't think this has to be this hard. And so then I had a little light bulb go off in my head like, oh, it probably doesn't have to be this hard. And I got to work figuring out how to make it easier. I enrolled in a metaphysical program. I began to read every self-help book I could get my hands on. I watched YouTube constantly. I was constantly watching videos of all of the great motivators and all of the great thinkers and philosophers. And it really all started to come together quite beautifully. A few years back, I founded The Magnificent Woman, which is a separate group of women who, they're just kicking life's ass. They're just real, true women who are just going out and they're owning it. And I wanted to surround myself with those kind of women, and I'm really glad that I did. And so as a result, I began to give advice based on, what I had learned, and women were like, wow, you really need to charge for this. Like, you really need to be in this business. And I was like, no, no, no. I'm a metaphysician, and I'll be a professor one day, but at this point, this is just who I am, until the next light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, this is who I am. This should be my business. And so I began coaching, and it's been such a beautiful experience. What I would say about coaching and hypnotherapy and transformation is that no 2 women that I've ever worked with have ever been the same. I've worked with hundreds of women. What you're about to do is completely individual. There's no generic packaging with this type of coaching. And so what we do is we look at the way that you were raised and what your morals and values are, and we look at your character traits and what you would like to change and what you'd like to keep. And we look at your best case life and what does that look like, and we begin to manifest that in, and we begin to put action to it. And so your manifestation and your action come to meet in the middle and create this beautiful, beautiful, magnificent woman as a result. And so I've worked with women who were babies, 20, 21, 22, 23, that really weren't sure where their life was going to go. They just knew that they didn't want to end up like somebody else that they'd seen before in their lives. And I worked with women who, were high-powered, business women, but their personal relationships sucked because they didn't have a balance between the masculine and feminine. And I worked with women who have had issues sexually because they were too afraid to be vulnerable. And I've worked with men who want to be magnificent men, who want to date magnificent women and marry magnificent women. And so the spectrum is pretty wide. I would say that you get to learn who you really are, and you begin to take steps to I don't want to say slowly, because you might go quickly. Some people go slowly, some people go quickly. But this is about being in constant motion to live your best case life, to put yourself first, to put your happiness first, and as a result, everything around you improving. And when you're living your best case life, you're going to give permission to the people around you to do the same. So I'd like, once again, just welcome here, and just know that I'm a real person, and I've really done this work, and I've helped many, many, many people before you on their journey, and I look forward to meeting you, and I look forward to learning about what it is that makes you tick and what makes you happy. So please feel free to email me or to give me a phone call. I'm available for either, and I hope that you have a great day. Hope to see you soon. Bye.